In Botany A, today you will learn about bacteria, economic importance of prokaryotes, in which bacteria and cyanobacteria both are included. You can see the picture, bacteria is given. Now, role of bacteria, cyanobacteria in nitrogen cycle. As you know that plants are unable to use atmospheric nitrogen unless it is converted into a usable form, nitrates, and this is done in a cycle, nitrogen cycle, by the action of microorganisms. Role as biofertilizers. Bacteria, cyanobacteria play a very important role in nitrogen cycle because there are some biological nitrogen fixers or nitrogen fixation. The synthesis of organic nitrogenous compounds from atmospheric nitrogen by the action of certain microorganisms like bacteria. There are two types of bacteria, aerobic bacteria and anaerobic bacteria. Bacteria are also saprophytic organisms feeding on dead decaying organic matter as they are decomposers, and they can fix nitrogen only in the soil. Next is the picture of biological nitrogen fixation, in which atmospheric nitrogen is converted into nitrates. Now, what is the definition of nitrogen fixation? The chemical processes by which atmospheric nitrogen is used, assimilated, converted into organic compounds by microorganisms as bacteria. The soil must have good supply of organic manure. For example, Clostridium is an anaerobic bacteria and it grows in the absence of oxygen. Azotobacter is an aerobic bacteria, that is, it grows in the presence of oxygen. Second are nodule forming Rhizobium bacteria species. They play a very important role in symbiotic nitrogen fixation, that is, they live in a relationship. Next are leguminous plants, legume plants. These bacteria live in the nodules, root nodules. A large number of leguminous plants like pea, bean, gram, soybean, they develop root nodules. A picture of soybean is given. All the plants of family Papilionaceae develop nodules. Now, role of cyanobacteria, blue-green algae. They are autotrophic photosynthetic organisms. Blue-green algae, it means they are also having green pigment. They grow in waterlogged and wet soils like paddy rice fields. Waterlogged soils, now what are these? These are the soils in which roots can't respire due to excess water. So there is shortage of oxygen or they lack oxygen. Members of families, nostocales, are important in nitrogen fixation. Some of its examples are Anabaena. It consists of branched filaments, as below you can see the picture of Anabaena. These filaments are made up of two types of cells, green photosynthetic cells which fix or convert the atmospheric carbon dioxide, and in return they release oxygen in photosynthesis. Picture of Anabaena is shown that they are filamentous branched. Next are heterocysts. Heterocysts are slightly enlarged colorless cells. They are non-photosynthetic, as they are saying that these are colorless, so non-photosynthetic. They can fix atmospheric nitrogen aerobically in the presence of oxygen. Blue-green algae living in higher plants. Higher plants mean vascular plants which have xylem and phloem tissues. Blue-green algae are free living in the soil. They enter into the tissues of higher vascular plants and permanently live over there inside. Example is nostoc. It lives in mucilage cavities of plants Anthosferous and fixes atmospheric nitrogen over there. Picture of nostoc is shown. Anthosferous is a bryophyte plant and is widely distributed in the world. It is about 200 species. It has two types of generations, sporophyte and gametophyte. Now, what are lichens? Symbiotic association between algae and fungi is called lichen. Algae like nostoc, cytonema, they develop symbiotic association with fungi. This association is known as lichen between algae and fungi. Algal parts or components of lichen, they fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the form of organic compounds. Picture of lichen is shown. Release of nitrogen by decomposition. Nitrogen is also present in the form of dead plants and animals. Bacteria act as decomposers. They break down or decompose these dead plants and animals and form different compounds like nitrates and ammonia. Compounds like nitrates and ammonia are then used by the plants. This procedure has following steps. Ammonia formation will be there, nitrate formation will be there. So number one is ammonifying bacteria. The bacteria which cause ammonization or formation of ammonia are called ammonifying bacteria. Soil contains many organic materials like complex organic compounds, which are larger one, proteins, nucleic acids, and nucleotides. Most of the nitrates are formed in the soil by the decomposition or breakdown of these organic compounds. For example, ammonifying bacteria is Nitrobacter. First one are ammonifying bacteria, and now second one are nitrifying bacteria. Several bacteria in soil oxidize ammonia into nitrates. That is, now ammonia will be converted into another form, nitrates. These bacteria are called nitrifying bacteria. This oxidation of ammonia to nitrates is called nitrification. Nitrates are then absorbed by the plants. That is, it is the usable form for the plants. Denitrifying bacteria. Some bacteria like Pseudomonas change nitrates into nitrogen gas. That is, once again, it is in the cyclic form. Nitrates will again change into nitrogen. They are called as denitrifying bacteria. Now we will discuss industrial role of bacteria and cyanobacteria, in which industries they are used. Prokaryotes play a very important role in industry. Number one, role in food production or food industry. Bacteria play a very important role in fermentation. As you know, fermentation is a process in which larger molecules are broken down into simple, smaller molecules by the action of microorganisms, and then they produce alcohol and carbon dioxide, and are used for manufacturing so many products like butter, cheese, yogurt, and cakes. Role in pharmaceutical medicine industry. Many antibiotics are obtained from bacteria. Some of these antibiotics are named as streptomycin and terramycin. Recombinant bacteria contain DNA of two different species, and they are used to synthesize insulin, growth factors or hormones, and other pharmaceutical products. Role in energy production. The entire world is facing the problem of energy shortage these days. So bacteria are used to produce biogas. Biogas is used as an alternative energy resource. Now, what is biogas? It is a mixture of gases produced by the breakdown of organic matter, but in the absence of oxygen. What are the advantages of biogas as a fuel? Clean fuel, they act as no residue or waste are produced, no smoke produced, they are non-polluting, economical, they can be supplied through pipelines, burns readily. And in Pakistan, biogas is also known as gobar gas. Role in agriculture. Bacteria are used as pesticides for biological control. It is the most effective, cheap method for controlling pests, small insects. Role in dairy farms. Bacteria are used to prepare silage for dairy animals like cattle. Silage is used as a fodder for cattle. Role in mining industries. Many bacteria are used to extract or to obtain metals from mines. Recombinant bacteria have been prepared which selectively extract or get metals from raw ores. Role in textile industry. Several bacteria like Clostridium, they are used for retting of hems, jute and flax. These bacteria play a role to separate the fibers. These fibers are used for making ropes, cloths or clothes. Leather industry. Bacteria are used for preparing commercial leather. Number 9 is role in tobacco industry. Bacteria are used for drying tobacco leaves. These leaves are used for preparing cigarettes. 10th is role in disposal of wastes. Bacteria are natural decomposers, as you know. They degrade or break down the industrial and domestic household wastes. Some transgenic bacteria are used as biofilters for cleaning the environment. Transgenic bacteria have foreign DNA incorporated in them. That is, DNA from outside source is inserted or incorporated into bacteria. Role in bioremediation. Bacteria have excellent ability to degrade or break down a variety of organic compounds. This ability of bacteria is used in waste processing and bioremediation, that is, breakdown of or degradation of organic compounds. Bacteria are used to clean up oil spills, that is, to clean environment. Bacteria are also used for remediation of industrial harmful toxic chemicals and wastes. Role in biological control. They can also be used in place of pesticides in biological pest control to control different kind of populations of insects and pests. The commonly used bacteria for biological control are Bacillus thuringiensis, also called as Bt. It is a gram-positive soil-dwelling or living bacteria. Subspecies of this bacterium are used as Lepidopteran-specific insecticides. Because of their specificity, these pesticides are regarded as environment-friendly. That is, they are not so much dangerous for environment. It has little or no effect on humans, wildlife, pollinators, which are involved in pollination, and most other beneficial insects. Use in research. Bacteria are used extensively, more and more, in molecular biology, in which we study different molecules of life. Genetics, study of genes and their functions. Biochemistry, the branch in which different kind of chemical compounds are studied in bacterium. The biologists make mutations in bacterial DNA. Mutation is change in tiny part of DNA. Then they can examine the resulting phenotypes or physical appearance. Then the scientist can determine the function of genes, enzymes, chemical reactions or metabolic pathways in bacteria by studying their DNA.